Welcome back, residents. Thank you for joining us once again. Quick recap. Last episode, we actually covered local government in terms of its structure, its function and purpose in reference to waste management as a major issue in the region of Johannesburg. On this episode, we are going to be covering municipalities and more so how they are structured. And we are joined with our honorable guest who's going to introduce themselves. Welcome. Can you please introduce yourself?
Sure. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Muiketsi Kwahela. And then in terms of my day job, I'm the Education and Training Officer of the Youth Activism Program at the Ahmed Kathrada Foundation. And through that role, I also serve as the interim chairperson of the National Youth Coalition, and then also serving within some of the subcommittees of the National Dialogue process. And then I'm also the co-chair of the Youth 20, which is the youth engagement group of the G20.
Oh, wow. So we're really in the presence of royalty here.
No, you guys are the royalty. You are the ones who are doing the real work as young people. Yeah.
And just to remind the viewers, I am Fahima Semanda and I am a member of the ASRI Fellowship Leadership Program for 2025. So, Moiketsi, we would like to know, what are municipalities and how are they structured? Like in terms of very basic understanding, the man on the street, the woman who sells the scones.
Yeah.
How could you please explain that to us?
Yeah, for me, and I like the question around, how do we explain municipalities or how they work, for the everyday man, Uma, Otengisa, Amaguenya, Estradin, and all those things. I always say, how we are talking about national issues like the state of health, the state of education. So whilst that is important, but, at the end of the day, we all sleep in a municipal ward. And really what that means for the everyday man and woman or girl child or boy child or whatever spectrum, you fall part of as a young person, is to say that whether you have electricity right now as we speak, whether there are potholes on your streets, whether, the local clinic is functioning or not, whether you can walk safely at night, that is as because of the decisions of the people who are in local government, right? Which is to really say that, we sleep in a municipal ward and the people who run our local government, and that would be, of course, your mayors, your councillors, and all those things. That is really the purpose of our municipalities, just breaking it down at a simple level, making sure that service delivery, citizens on the ground in our communities through, whichever ward you're in, of which a councillor would be appointed or elected rather, that is, they are there to make sure that each and every community has access to clean and safe water, health in terms of the local clinics and all those things. Yeah. So that is really how I would break down what is a municipality and why you should actually be involved in it. Yeah.
Oh, that's really, really nice. Yeah. So just to be clear, what are the key roles and responsibilities of the municipal councillor? Because you mentioned the municipal councillor.
Yeah. So listen, councillors are really there to make sure that we as citizens have service delivery. And like I said, the tap water that we are drinking right now that I just made this coffee from, is that water safe and clean? If yes, great. If no, why not? Right? And then in terms of that, why not? Then, how do we reach out? Who is our local councillor? Right? Who do we even know the ward that we are part of, like right here in terms of this space that we're in? And how do we approach that? We say, councillor, we haven't had clean access to water, or when I take a shower, when I take a bath, when I wash my dishes, right? The water is brownish or it's purplish and whatever. And it has started affecting my health or even my children's health, right? Or it's simply not safe, right? So really the role of councillors is to make sure that service delivery is there. It's like, you are a bridge between citizens' concerns and the issues that they experience. And of course, the powers that be in the municipality, because at the end of the day, the municipality is the one that has the budget, right? So you as Fahima, as Moiketsi, as Uzona, as Muhammad, or as Walid, in your community to say, but where's this budget going? Because then clearly, if I'm experiencing, there are potholes in my streets, it means that then money is not being spent adequately, or money is going elsewhere or covering other resources, whereas they should be coming to me. Or perhaps, even if maybe they're going to other important resources, but how do we also prioritize these particular issues around water, electricity, and so on? Yeah.
Thank you for that. So, how exactly do the councillors ensure that the voices of the people are heard? What is that process like?
So I think the relevant process I would really mention, and I would really urge our citizens to really look at and even attend, is called IDP meetings, which are, integrated development planning meetings. And really what that allows the municipality to do, so the municipality will release a schedule to say, today we are going to Parktown. Today we will be in Region F, which is maybe Lenasia, Bosmont, for example, or maybe Lehaye or Tembelihle and all those things, right? And as communities, our councillors must let us know that, guys, the municipality in terms of the speaker of council, right, or the speaker of the municipal council, the mayor, the person who leads the MMC for finance are going to be in town, and other officials, and they're going to be simply asking us, what are our issues? Right? So whether that issue is electricity, whether that issue is potholes, whether that issue is water or crime in the area. And out of those issues, they then need to create a budget, right? And that budget will then say, okay, fine, for Region F under the city of Johannesburg, we maybe need 200 million or 2 billion to deal with these issues, so that service delivery again is that thing of, we are leaders who listen, right? Here's the budget. You asked for it. You said that we must resolve these issues, and we resolve them. And I think, it's important to also, advocate for solving issues not only at a municipal level, but collaboratively with communities. And that is why I think it's also important, part of local government is for our municipalities to also engage with, the local groups on the ground, whether they're NGOs or whether it's the street committees or the resident associations, because they too, in addition to our local councillor, are far more organized and also are far more clued up when it comes to the particular issues that are specific to that area. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that robust answer. I think we have a better understanding now. So how can we as residents participate in the municipal process?
So I think first thing to say, part of participation is that the, Local Municipalities Structures Act is actually designed around participatory, right? Ours is a participatory democracy, which means that it's not only the elected officials who must enact that democracy, it also means that we as citizens must participate, whether through the IDP meetings or even the community-based planning meetings, the CBPs, right? And part of us participating, again, is to not only go into, the websites, but also I would say even reaching out to which organization. So if you live in a particular community, let's say Lenasia or let's say Soweto, right? Which are the relevant, civil society organizations, right, that are doing work around my community that I need to be aware of, and how can I effectively contribute my skills, whether you're a professional, a teacher, a lawyer, a nurse, or you're an engineer, because again, I do also want to stress that even we must also hold the mirror to ourselves as citizens, because I think oftentimes we outsource our citizenry or our citizen power, right? And, part of really what I'm saying there is that we must also participate by not only attending those meetings, but actually following up. Following up is part of participating, but also how are we organizing other people in our own communities to say, Mikey, next door neighbor, come out, because this issue, it doesn't help that you're in your house and not doing anything. Yeah, we respect that, you're cool, you're calm, you're collected, but you must also be involved, because at the end of the day, when this electricity comes out, if we are fighting for electricity or water, it's not just going to come to me, it's going to also come to you. And I certainly know that this water that is dirty that I'm also drinking, you're also drinking, right? Whether you have a Jojo tank or not, but it's going to come and knock on your door. So really participating, I would say, two ways about it, right? Participating with the municipality in terms of course, the IDPs, but also there's also another, process around Section 79 committees, right, where that's where oversight and accountability particularly happens for our councillors, who are then, some of them are elected to be MMCs, to specifically, dish out, this service delivery. So for example, one of them that I can mention, the city of Johannesburg, is EISD, right? Infrastructure, Environment Infrastructure, department or division, right? And they are responsible for 3 entities: Pick It Up, Johannesburg Water, and then also City Power. So already there, you're dealing with 3 things: electricity, water, and then of course, environmental waste, right? And all those things, if they're not taken care of, then they will affect us health-wise, right? I mean, look at the issue of food poisoning as an example, right? That is because health inspectors, the amount of health inspectors that the city of Johannesburg has doesn't equal to the amount of wards that the municipality is responsible for. So again, for me, I would encourage our citizens to participate through the Section 79 committees, the IDP meetings, the CBPs, and this information, all councillors, even if you're a fresh councillor, you ran for elections and you said, I'm raising my hand, I want to represent my community. When you get there, of course, they understand that you're still new in the game, right? They're going to train you, right? That's why we have the South African Local Government Association, or SALGA, whose responsibility it is, as part of their act and mandate, to train new, officials, right? Whether it is, local government or officials in terms of the bureaucrats themselves, or even the elected politicians. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So what we have gathered then as residents, as listeners, myself as well, is we have the ability to influence as well as challenge the municipality. But we have power over ourselves as well. We have to take that responsibility upon ourselves.
We do. There's nothing more powerful in this world than organized people, whether it's organized youth or organized communities. Because what that signals to the powers that be, as I call them, or, officials, is that these people are organized and they're serious about, making sure that we deliver service delivery. And at the end of the day, if you're an official, you shouldn't really complain because you are a public servant. And really what that means is that you chose that job, or you applied for that job understanding that you're going to be a public servant, you're going to serve the public, right? Yeah.
Thank you so much, Maketsi, for coming in and just, educating us. We're really grateful as residents. And you did mention Section 79 committees. And of course, our time is limited, but we really do look forward to touching that, in fact, fully covering that in the upcoming episode.
Yeah.
So to the residents, thank you for tuning in. And I'm sure that you are grateful for Maketsi's presence. I'm sure that he's taught you something. And now you know that you have the power to influence and to make the change that you want to see. So thank you once again, and we will see you on the next episode. Goodbye.